guys, this is Miss Sebastian. So we're going to look at order of operations today. And this is the on your own practice from your lesson. So our first question says 10 divided by 2 minus 3. So you always want to follow what we call PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you may have seen it. But you're going to do parentheses first. I don't see any parentheses in this problem. Then I'm going to do exponents. I don't see any exponents in this problem. Then I'm going to do multiply and divide. I'm going to do those left to right. So I do see a multiply and divide in this problem, so I'm going to rewrite it over here. And I'm going to do my division. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring down the rest of the problem. So now I've completed all of those, so now I've just got add and subtract left to right. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. Okay, question number 2. We're still going to follow, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS. The first thing we look for are parentheses. There's no parentheses in my equation, so I can get rid of that. Exponents. There are no exponents in my equation, so I can get rid of that. Now multiplication and division is left to right. So I see multiplication, division, and multiplication. So let's rewrite our problem. So I'm going to start left to right. So 2 times 9 is 18. And it may seem like you're writing a lot, but that's okay. Okay, because now I'm going to do my division, even though up here in, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS, the multiplication comes before division. It's only multiplication and division left to right. So whatever you see first, like you are reading a sentence. So I'm going to do 14 divided by 7 gives me 2 times 4. So I've still got multiplication and division to do. So I'm going to be doing 2 times 4. And now that I'm done with multiplication and division, I'm going to go to add and subtract. And that's left to right as well. And we do get 10. Let's look at our next one. Okay, so I'm looking for parentheses. Oh, I've got a set of those. So I'm going to work everything inside those parentheses first. So I'm going to look inside these parentheses. So if you would like, you could rewrite it over here as its own separate problem. And I would do the multiplication and division first. So 2 divided by 2 gives me 1. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So now I could rewrite my equation as 16 minus 4 times 4. The 4 you got right here replaces all that stuff inside the parentheses. Now the parentheses are standing for multiplication. So if you don't like looking at parentheses like that, if it gets confusing, just rewrite it as a multiplication. So then multiplication comes before subtraction. So 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 minus 16 is 0. Okay, now we've got 30 divided by 9 plus 6. So I've got PEMDAS up there. I do whatever's in the parentheses first. So if it makes you feel better, or if it makes it easier for you, do whatever's in the parentheses off to the side. Okay? So then I can rewrite my equation replacing the parentheses with The answer I just got, 9 plus 6 is 15. So 30 divided by 15 is 2. Okay, on this one, you've got a lot of different things going on, so let's write our problem. Okay, so I'm going to change my color up here, and I'm going to do the top of this equation first. So 7 minus 2, I'm going to do first. I've got 5 squared. Now, if you think about it, the top of this equation is still in parentheses because it's separate from what you do on the bottom. So 5 squared is 25. So now I can look at the bottom and do that set of parentheses. So I am going to be doing the 3 to the 4th first. So that means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's 81. So now I'm just going to do addition and subtraction left to right. So I'm actually going to bring this down so that I can have a little bit more room to work. And I'm going to add 4 plus 81 first. And that's 85. So then I need to subtract 10 from that. And I do get 25 over 75. And I need to simplify that. So I can divide both the top and the bottom by 25. Remember, it's always the same number. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 75 divided by 25 is 3. So our answer to that big, ugly math problem is 1/3. Okay, on this question you've got the quantity of 3 squared plus 1 times 2. So you've got please excuse my dear Aunt Sally or PEMDAS. The first thing we're going to look at is those parentheses. So I'm going to look in my parentheses and see what I need to do first. And I see the exponent there. So I'm going to say 3 squared. Well, I know that's 9. And I'm going to rewrite the rest of my problem. So I've still got parentheses I need to take care of. 9 plus 1 is 10 times 2. 10 times 2 is 20, and I'm done with that problem. Number 7. Which expression is equal to 312? So we're going to have to look at this and solve each separate problem. So on the first one, I've got 3 times 4 plus 3 squared times 8. So the first thing I have to do is parentheses and then exponents. Okay, then I need to multiply and add 12. And that gives me 84. So that's not going to give me 312. So that's not an option. Okay, now I'm going to try my second one. I've got 3 times 4 plus 3 squared times 8. So let's see, we've got 3 times 4 and 3 squared. 3 squared comes first because exponents come before multiplication. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 9. So 12 plus 9 is 21 times 8 gives me 168, not 312. Okay, so now I'm going to try the third one. 3 times 4 plus 3 squared times 8. So in the parentheses, I need to do my exponents first. Then I have to finish out my parentheses. So 4 plus 9 is 13. Then I do multiplication and division left to right. So 3 times 13 is 39 times 8 is 312. So this would be our answer. Okay, but we do want to finish out, so I'm going to go ahead and do the last one. 3 times 4 plus 3 squared times 8. So we're going to do 3 squared first. Then we're going to finish out the parentheses. 9 times 8 is 72. Then we need to do 3 times 4 is 12. And that does give me 84. So as you can see, C is your correct answer there. Which expression is equal to 820? So we're going to start with the first one. 8 plus 9 squared minus 7 times 10. So you're going to do the exponents first. 8 plus 81 is 89, minus 7 times 10 is 70. When I subtract, I get 19, so that's not going to be my answer. Okay, let's look at the second one. 8 plus 9 squared minus 7 times 10. So the first thing we have to do is 9 squared. Then we're going to subtract 7 because it is inside those parentheses. We get 74. Then we're going to have to multiply next because multiplication comes before addition. Whoops. There we go. So 740 plus 8 is 748. And that's not what we're looking for either. Okay, so let's try the third one. 8 plus 9 squared minus 7 times 10. So we're going to do inside the parentheses first, and then the exponents. And now we're just going to add and subtract left to right. So I'm going to start here. 8 plus 81 is 89. Minus 70 is 19. So C can't be our answer, which tells me D probably is, but I want to double check. 8 plus 9 squared minus 7 times 10. So I'm going to do the 9 squared first. Now I'm going to add and subtract left to right inside those parentheses. Oh, sorry. Should be 89 because I forgot to add 81 plus 8. So 89 minus 7 is 82 times 10 is 820. Number 9, simplify this. Okay, we've got 4 plus 9 times 2 divided by 3 minus 1. So we're always going to do multiplication and division left to right. So as I'm reading left to right, I see this multiplication first. So I'm going to say 4 plus 9 times 2 is 18 divided by 3 minus 1. Now I'm going to do it again. Left to right, I only see this division. So 4 plus 18 divided by 3 is 6. And now I'm going to do addition and subtraction left to right. So I'm just going to start here. 4 plus 6 is 10. And then 10 minus 1 gives me 9. So my answer is 9. Okay, let's look at this one. This is a big ugly one, as I like to call them. Okay, but I'm going to look at the top. I've got 10 divided by 2 plus 5 minus 8. And I like to think of these as two sets of parentheses because they're really two separate problems that we bring together at the end. So I'm going to solve them as two separate problems first. So I'll do the purple on top and green on bottom. Okay, so let's look at the purple first. The first thing I'm going to do is divide. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then I just bring down the rest of my problem. 5 plus 5 is 10. Minus 8 gives me 2. So on top of my answer, I'm going to have 2. Now I'm going to look at the bottom of the problem. I'm going to do the parentheses first. So 6, the parentheses now mean multiply. 2 plus 5 is 7 minus 3. So now I've got 6 times 7 is 42 minus 3 gives me 39. So my answer is 2 over 39. Okay, now we've got 2 times 7 squared minus 10. I'm going to do these as two separate problems again. I've got 9 plus 1 cubed on the bottom. So let's do the top first. We're going to do the exponents first. So 7 squared is 49. Now I'm going to go left to right. 2 times 49 is 98 minus 10. And that does equal 88. So 88 is going on the top of my problem. Now I'm going to look at the denominator. 9 plus 1 is 10 to the third power. So all that means is 10 times 10 times 10. So that's 1,000. Now I need to simplify. I know that 88 can be divided by 8, and I get 11. 1,000 can also be divided by 8, and I get 125, and then I'm done. Okay, so here's some video links to help. You've got two different video links there. One's a Safe YouTube, and one is a Khan Academy. So hopefully this will help you with order of operations.